Here with my man Mallex Smith. Mallex, hey man, good to see you. Weird to see you in a Mariners uniform.
Hey, you know.
It's exciting though, right?
Change is exciting.
Yeah,
Yes.
change is exciting. Hey, spring training, this is the time you get a few weeks, right, to really kind of work on your game. And I always felt like every time I came into camp, I had a couple things maybe I was working on. What about you? When you come to the yard every day and you're getting your work in, are you working on anything this spring?
Definitely. You know, when you first show up, you haven't really been seeing much live balls off the bat.
Right.
So when you first show up to camp, the best thing for an outfielder is to take balls off the bat when everybody's hitting BP.
Right.
So for me, the very first thing when I come to camp I like to work on is being able to turn my head off the ball and look back up and find it. It's a lot harder to do out here in Arizona with this high sky. You know, there's no clouds to give you depth perception, so even more of a reason to work on it.
So what do you mean by that? I mean, you're drop stepping and then taking off running and then finding the ball? Is that what you're looking to do?
Yes. So to be as efficient as possible and cover as much ground as possible in the shortest amount of time, when the guys are taking BP, you know, try to scoot up a little bit, maybe challenge yourself. If you're not that comfortable being up close, you can definitely scoot back. But ultimately, you're trying to challenge yourself and find a way to cover as much ground as possible. So
how would you do it?
How would I do it? Let's say the guy's hitting this way. As the BP thrower is throwing, I get ready for the ball like I would any other at bat. And then let's say the ball's hit over my right shoulder. So I'm going to make my first step in the direction that I feel like the ball is heading or was possibly land. And then no matter what, even if I'm not going that far, my next few steps, and it depends on how hard the ball is hit, my next few steps are running with my head down, trying to cover some ground, and then I look back up to find the ball just so I can work on being able to take my head off the ball and efficiently find it while taking a good route to the ball. That will ultimately allow me to cover more ground in a short amount of time, and I can take away a little bit more hits. The better and the more efficiently I can turn my head off the ball and cover some ground and look back up and catch it.
So like for the kids out there, you're not looking to turn and just be looking up the whole time.
No. I don't want to look at the ball the whole time. In Tampa is a little bit different because
you got
that dome up there, so it's hard really to pick up the ball. But when you're outside, you know, you don't want to necessarily look at the ball the whole time because it's slowing you down. You know, if you're gonna run the 60, or if you're gonna run, you know, any type of race, you don't run looking backwards like this.
Right.
You know, you run with your head down in the direction that you're going. So to work on being as efficient as possible and covering as much ground as possible, you do the same thing out here on the baseball field. So the ball's hit, I take my eye off the ball, I'm running, and I look back up, so still while running at the same speed, find the ball, end up catching it, getting ready to exchange and make a good throw.
Nice. Okay, so that's pretty important stuff, right? Especially with your speed too. That allows you to cover the gaps, allows you to cover a lot of ground, and help those corner outfielders too, right?
Definitely. You know, my ultimate job is to make sure those corner outfielders have as much rest as possible, so they can drive me in later on.
They can drive you in. Yeah, I love it. What else are you working on? That's obviously a big one.
Right.
That's a big one right there. Anything else you work on out here?
Definitely transfer. You know, the faster I get the ball in my hand, the faster I can get it out, the quicker it gets into the infielder's hand, the quicker the runner stops.
Okay.
So that's something that you just learn from playing and the importance of keeping a double play in order.
Right.
You know, if you can keep a fast guy to a single versus a double, you put your pitcher in a lot better situation. You know, to get a double play. So what's the one way to work on that? You know, no matter what, if I'm taking a ground ball.
So if I rolled you a ball, so they're just talking about the transfer, like bam,
right.
Ball hit to the outfield.
I'm here, and I'm immediately reaching into my glove so that I can get the ball in my hand, so I can get the ball in as soon as possible. Versus, you know, maybe necessarily you can roll it to me again. I'm here, boom, I'm bringing it up here, taking a long time. And then when I finally get it, I gotta hurry up and rush my throw. Maybe it's a lot less accurate, you know, or it's just not in time because I took too long to get the ball in my hand.
Dude, show us that again. Show us how you want to do it. Show us how you want to do it when you come in. So you're
it's in my hand quick, you know, before I even come up versus me watching it and bringing it up here and then making the throw.
Game of inches, right?
Mhm.
Game of inches.
That's
And
that bang play.
That transfer right there could be the difference about, maybe a guy taking a base or you, or keeping that double play in order.
Right.
Love it, man. Hey, spring training's all about the little things, right? That's the great thing about the big leagues, man. These guys are at such an elite level. They're working on the finer points to make their team better. None better than Mallex Smith covering center field. We'll see it all year at Safeco Field. It's going to be a good year, man.